Oh my god, I can't study anymore. Staying up all night was not a good idea. I'm so tired, but can't sleep at all. There's no time. I'm studying for my chem midterm and nothing makes sense. My memory is going blank. I should have started studying earlier. There's no time and I really need an A in this class. Oh my god, I need some magic. Something fast.
Oh, do you want to sit with us? I just finished my 5th assignment today in less than an hour. You should definitely try it.
I don't even like coffee.
Wait, did I hear caffeine? Don't worry, girl. I got you. I know you're tired and these weeks are really stressful, but it's not over yet. You can have hot tea if you don't like it iced, or maybe a fun drink with different flavors, like cherry, white peach, apricot strawberry, anything that you want. My personal favorite is matcha. But if you also want some to be active, there are some pre-workouts that will give you a pump. These are magic. But if you don't have time, we also have some capsules. You just take one and it's magic. And don't forget about the sweet treats because we have dark chocolate too. You're gonna love it. Really, anything you can think of. And it has multiple benefits. You can be more focused, have a better mood, and be more efficient. Get more energy and improve your physical performance. And some of them have metabolic fibers that will decrease the risk of disease like type 2 diabetes and improve your health.
Wow.
Which one?
I'll take this one. Wait, but how does it even work? This is caffeine, a molecule with chemical formula C8H10N4O2. Caffeine belongs to a class called alkaloids, which are organic compounds that contain at least one nitrogen atom. Caffeine is naturally found in coffee, tea, and cacao. The process of extracting caffeine from natural foods is rather expensive, so instead synthetic caffeine is used. While there is no difference in molecular formula between these two types of caffeine, the difference lies in how they are absorbed in the body. Natural caffeine is usually accompanied by other beneficial elements such as antioxidants, magnesium, potassium, manganese, phosphorus, and several B vitamins that help reduce jitteriness and anxiety, providing a more balanced energy boost. This is why when you consume synthetic caffeine like the kind found in energy drinks and soda, it is consumed in isolation and absorbed more quickly by the body, leading to a more abrupt peak followed by a noticeable crash. But how does caffeine work in the brain? Adenosine is a neuromodulator in the brain, promoting sleepiness as adenosine accumulates in your body throughout the day. However, caffeine is a stimulant, increasing the amount of neurotransmitters in the brain. The structure of caffeine is similar to adenosine, so as caffeine makes its way to the brain through the bloodstream, it binds to adenosine receptors. Let's look at a visual to understand this. This is caffeine, and this is adenosine. The chair is an adenosine receptor. As caffeine binds to the receptor, it blocks the signal that tells your brain I'm tired. Blocking adenosine causes an increase in dopamine and adrenaline, which is why caffeine boosts your mood and gives you energy.
Oh my gosh, there's so many FDA rules. It's a good thing I have caffeine or else I'd be sleeping on the desk. I wonder if there's any FDA rules for caffeine. Oh yeah, look at that. A is considered a food additive and not an actual drug. Interesting. About 400 milligrams per day is okay by the FDA without adverse effects. Oh, here we go. 1989, FDA limited OTC products to 200 milligrams a dose. LD50, lethal dose, is high because people usually succumb to toxic side effects. That's weird. So, that means 150 to 200 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. All right. I wonder who discovered caffeine. The Legend of Kaldi. Located in Ethiopia, 9th century, he noticed his goats eating berries and were very energetic. That's cute. Here we go. Spread to Yemen in the mid-15th century, Ottoman Empire mid-16th century, and Europe late 16th century. Then we had the rise of coffee houses. But what about the science? Okay, here we go. 19th century, rise of alkaloid chemistry. We have 1819, Friedrich Ferdinand Rung, first isolation of caffeine, and identified the stimulant compound. Now we're getting somewhere. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. He was interested in coffee side effects, bridge cultural curiosity and laboratory science. Further studies of caffeine and alkaloids, Pierre-Joseph Pelletier and Joseph Bien-Aimé Caventou. Identified the nitrogen-containing organic compound and linked coffee to broader pharmacological families. Here's the man, late 19th century. Hermann Emil Fischer determined caffeine's molecular structure and classified it as a xanthine derivative. Fischer synthesizes caffeine, confirms the structural model, major achievement in organic chemistry, and it looks like he won the Nobel Prize in 1902 for his work on purines, which included his work on the structure of caffeine and synthesizing it. Well, Hermann Emil Fischer, cheers. Whoa, I owe you a great deal of gratitude.
Caffeine is quickly absorbed within the bloodstream, 99% in just 45 minutes. The peak plasma concentration of caffeine occurs between 15 and 120 minutes after oral ingestion, and for greater or more long-lasting peaks, caffeine products that interact more with the oral mucosa, like caffeinated chewing gum, can be consumed. In an article from the American Medical Association, Dr. Shannon Kilgore, a neurologist from Palo Alto, California, shares some potential benefits of caffeine, like increased athletic performance and greater endurance. In the same article, it's mentioned that caffeine consumption can reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. An article by the NIH further describes that caffeine consumption lowers the risk of cognitive impairment and dementia. This occurs because caffeine prevents the breakdown of cholinergic pathways by inhibiting acetylcholinesterase, which breaks down acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is important for attention and memory encoding in the brain. A dose of 300 milligrams of caffeine in one sitting causes caffeine intoxication, whose symptoms include restlessness, excitement, insomnia, gastrointestinal disorders, tachycardia, irritability, muscle tremors, and psychomotor agitation. Caffeine also has negative effects when consumed at a young age. A study by Watson and his colleagues found higher purity scores and higher morning tiredness values associated with increased caffeine consumption, and another study with 3,071 children from England revealed that increased caffeine consumption is associated with stress, anxiety, and depression, and found that the depressive effects are more prominent in females. Interestingly, caffeine metabolism is increased by smoking. Smoking induces liver enzyme activity, which increases the rate of caffeine demethylation, or breakdown. However, if an individual stops smoking, caffeine demethylation levels return to normal. In multiple studies from the late 1900s, it was found that caffeine and nicotine seemed to have an additive effect on locomotor activity in rodents. However, combining caffeine and nicotine did not seem to produce greater effects in humans than simply the consumption of each drug alone. From its ancient roots to its modern role in late-night study sessions, caffeine has become the most widely used central nervous system stimulant today. By learning more about caffeine, we can make conscious choices about how and when we use it. Caffeine is an important reminder of how intertwined our daily lives are with chemistry.
And then just get her now. The coffee, the bean.